Greetings to all viewers of the Freedom TV channel. Thank you for starting this informational morning together with us. This is our time and the main news at this hour. In the studio, Yuri Kovlianich. Russian forces launched missile strikes on Balakliia in the Kharkiv region. The strike hit the city center. 3 people have been killed, but the number may rise according to local authorities. 10 people were injured, including 3 children. As a result of the Russian attack, apartment buildings were damaged. Rescue teams and emergency medical services are working at the site of the strike. At night, the Russians attacked the Pavlograd district of the Dnipropetrovsk region with drones. A transportation company was damaged in one of the communities. Nikopol and communities in the district also came under attack from Russian FPV drones and artillery. Fortunately, no people were injured. Over the past day in the Dnipropetrovsk region, as a result of Russian shelling, 6 people were injured. The day before, the Russians struck the Mezhivska community in the Sinelnikov district with a KAB bomb. Several stores, a kiosk, and passenger cars were damaged. Due to drone strikes, infrastructure in Sinelnikov itself was damaged. In Nikopol and the surrounding district, industrial enterprises, infrastructure, a private house, and a gas station were damaged as a result of the shelling. In total, Russian forces carried out more than 700 strikes on 17 settlements in the Zaporizhzhia region over the past day. They used aircraft and drones of various types for the attacks. They also fired from multiple launch rocket systems and artillery, according to the Zaporizhzhia Regional Military Administration. There were no casualties or injuries. Donetsk, which is temporarily occupied by Russia, was left without power after a drone attack. This happened last night, according to local social media channels. According to preliminary information, a substation was hit. Many drones were observed over the city. In addition to Donetsk, electricity was lost in Yasinovataya and in the Chervonograd district of Makivka. Orlivka and Yenakiv were also partially left without power. Explosions were also heard last night in Orel, Russia. Many drones were flying toward the city, according to Russian social media channels. Local sources report a possible attack on the Orel thermal power plant. This could have a significant impact on the operation of the region's energy infrastructure. After all, this plant supplies electricity to industrial facilities and residential areas. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced a historic agreement to strengthen Ukraine's combat aviation and protect its airspace. The document will be signed today, November 17th, in Paris. The Ukrainian leader will be received by French President Emmanuel Macron. After that, Volodymyr Zelensky has a planned visit to Spain, where the issue of strengthening Ukraine's air defense will also be discussed. But the day before, Ukraine and Greece signed an agreement on natural gas supplies. This was announced by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during his visit to Athens. Under the agreement, liquefied gas will be transported from the United States of America and then via the so-called Route 1. This route is jointly provided by the gas transmission system operators of Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, and Ukraine. Gas supplies from Greece to Ukraine will begin as early as January and will continue throughout the first quarter of 2026. As Volodymyr Zelensky noted, this will be another step towards independence from Russian natural gas. I was thinking about settling the accounts for gas supply to Ukraine. We have reached an extremely important agreement on gas supplies to Ukraine. In fact, almost every night now, the Russians strike our infrastructure, most often targeting the energy sector. We restore everything every time the Russians destroy it, but this really takes a lot of time and equipment. As for gas, imports are necessary to compensate for the destruction of our own production by the Russians. Our agreement with Greece today is an important part of the large energy package we have prepared for this winter to ensure Ukraine is supplied with gas. Shatin. Harsh sanctions against any country doing business with Russia, announced U.S. President Donald Trump. During a conversation with journalists, he confirmed that Republicans are working on a legislative initiative to increase economic pressure on the Russian Federation through its trading partners. According to the president, he personally proposed this idea. I heard that they are doing this, and that's fine with me. The Republicans are preparing a very tough law, and I'm fine with that. It's about sanctions and so on. They might add Iran to it as well. I suggested this. Thus, any country doing business with Russia will be subjected to very harsh sanctions. Belgrade has given Moscow a few more weeks to find buyers for the assets of the company Oil Industry of Serbia. the majority of which is owned by Gazprom. This was reported by the press service of Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić. Thus, Serbia is hoping for the lifting of American sanctions. Earlier, the U.S. demanded a complete withdrawal of the Russian Federation from the Serbian oil company and imposed economic restrictions on it. The Serbian authorities hope to avoid nationalizing the company and to sell its assets to Asians or Europeans. On the agenda are the economy and Russia's war against Ukraine. Germany's Vice-Chancellor and Finance Minister Lars Klingbeil is heading to China for a visit. While speaking with journalists, he said he would discuss China's access to critically important raw materials as well as the reduction of China's excess production capacity in the metallurgical sector. The parties will also discuss the war in Ukraine. According to Klingbeil, Beijing plays a decisive role in ending Russia's full-scale aggression. Meanwhile, the United States of America is preparing to add the largest Venezuelan cartel to the list of foreign terrorist organizations. This was announced by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. According to him, the Suns cartel is personally headed by Nicolas Maduro, and the group is run by high-ranking officials from his administration. Amid escalating tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela, the world's largest American aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, has arrived in the Caribbean. The strike group passed through the Anegada Passage near the British Virgin Islands. In addition to the aircraft carrier, the group includes fighter squadrons as well as missile destroyers. The commander of the group, Rear Admiral Paul Lancelot, stated that their mission is to reinforce the existing U.S. naval forces to protect against narco-terrorism in the Western Hemisphere. On the night of November 14th, Ukrainian defense forces struck the Novorossiysk naval base in Russia's Krasnodar Krai. Ukrainian weaponry was used in the attack, including Neptune missiles and various types of strike drones. The strikes in the USSR also targeted an oil refinery and a fuel and lubricants depot in the Saratov region. Ukrainian missiles are delivering increasingly tangible and precise results, President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized. Kristina Dombrovska will continue on this topic.
Ukraine is responding and will continue to respond to Russia's terrorist strikes, President Volodymyr Zelensky stated. The head of state published a video showing the effective work of the long-range modification of the Neptune cruise missile. The president of Ukraine did not specify which targets were hit, but for the first time showed a video of a missile launch from the upgraded platform. Last night, our soldiers successfully used long-range Neptunes against specific targets on Russian territory. And this is our entirely justified response to the ongoing Russian terror. Ukrainian missiles are, in fact, delivering increasingly tangible and precise results almost every month. I thank everyone who works on our missile program and gives Ukraine this accuracy and long-range capability. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Telegram. The long-range Neptune, or Neptune MD, is a modernized version of the Ukrainian R-360 Neptune cruise missile. Its warhead weighs 260 kilograms, which is 100 more than the anti-ship modification. Its range is about 1,000 kilometers. For there to be more of these missiles, Ukraine's defense industry needs investment, said Ukrainian Deputy Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha at the defense session of the G7 EU and Ukraine meeting. In addition, with the support of its partners, Kyiv will be able to produce up to 20 million drones in 2026. Because of nuclear threats from Moscow, there is much talk about a new arms race. But the modern arms race is not about expensive nuclear missiles, but about millions of cheap drones. Those who can ramp up production faster will guarantee peace. For this, rapid and sufficient funding of Ukraine's defense industry is necessary, as it is currently the largest source of defense innovation in the world. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on Telegram. On November 13th, 8 European countries announced the allocation of $500 million for the purchase of military equipment and ammunition for Ukraine as part of the Pole Initiative, and Germany announced its participation in the upcoming 6th package of military aid to Kyiv. Berlin is ready to provide at least 150 million euros, noted German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius.
We are funding weapon systems from the list of Ukraine's priority needs that are only available in the United States. These are systems that Ukraine urgently needs. Striking examples are the Patriot systems and, above all, the missiles for them.
France, the leader of the European defense industry, is ready to develop joint weapons production with Ukraine, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Plans include the production of air defense and missile defense systems and missiles for them, as well as the development of new types of weapons based on the experience of modern warfare, for example, such as interceptor drones. Solutions in the field of interceptors are a priority for Ukraine. We continue to expand cooperation with our partners to provide our soldiers with effective air defense systems. Serhiy Boyev, Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine, from a statement on the ministry's website.
Ukraine is on the front line of an aggressive war imposed on it by Russia. From the very beginning, it could count on constant and concrete European solidarity, and President Macron will receive President Zelensky in Paris. Our goal is to force Russia to return to the negotiating table.
On November 17th in Paris, Volodymyr Zelensky and Emmanuel Macron will discuss security guarantees for Ukraine and bilateral cooperation in the fields of energy, economy and defense, according to the office of the French president. Kristina Dombrovskaya for Freedom TV channel.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.